homicide team responded to the murder of 31-year-old Leslie Bella Griffin, shot point blank, discovered that her friend, Todd, fled the scene, and learned that she had fought with her dealer, Stephen K. Syfor.
We're 11th in St. Louis. We went way back there maybe, but I can't tell right now. We've got a search warrant for Kay's apartment. He's been selling drugs. The narcotics officers have been looking at him, reference that. 10-4. We've got an informant that told us that he's got guns in the house. So we're going to wait for him to go mobile. We'll take him down, and then we'll serve the warrant on the apartment. If we find that 45 out of there on a drug warrant, I will be ecstatic. 10-4. And we're late. But we're not going to get up. We're just... He's out. Okay, he's actually in the car.
Booyah!
Northbound on St. Louis.
Hands up! Open up your driver's side door! Open the driver's side door! Let me see both your hands, alright?
You got any weapons on you we need to know about?
Sir. Stephen Syfor is taken to homicide.
Okay, Jim, you just want to hold right there.
Hit the door. Third floor! Get on the ground! On the ground, on the ground.
Clear. Hope we find drugs and guns and people can start going to jail. And hopefully we can connect that, to the murder.
Oh, there's roaches everywhere.
Not finding any guns.
Dude. Oh my gosh, dude. I thought I felt roaches crawling up my legs. It's brutal.
There's roaches boiling out of there, dude. They have a lot of rounds in there. Not the round that we're looking for. Anything else?
Nope.
BBK. That's your nickname? What's it stand for?
Everybody good?
All right, man. Have a seat. Sit tight. Found a couple 20 rocks, what appears to be crack.
Doing good, sir. How are you?
You know why we're there this morning?
Yeah, I had a search warrant.
Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff going on in that neighborhood. We're just trying to figure some of that stuff out. The morning Bella got killed.
So you knew her too? That's a tough situation. You stay in that neighborhood, you done seen her. She sit there on the corner, she talk to herself, she dance. Everybody knows she a prostitute, but like, that ain't right.
I agree.
Didn't nobody hear nothing, didn't nobody see nothing.
Was she getting from you?
I do a little smoking, I do a little selling.
That last Friday night or Saturday morning. What do you think happened?
There's a lot of shady characters around there.
I agree. And some of those shady characters, as you say, even thrown down your name. You know?
They couldn't even tell you my real name. Because like I said, I interact with them just because they're there and I keep it pushing.
Let me talk to Detective Schilling for a minute.
How do I go about contacting my friend?
Like right now?
I mean, y'all are probably gonna keep me in custody, so I'm gonna need them to figure out what's going on.
I was afraid of that. He's been through the system enough that he knows that he's not supposed to talk to us about anything. It doesn't get us any closer to proving him one way or the other, but I'm still feeling he's good for it. Right now, he's going to get charged with possession with intent for having the cocaine. Please talk. Have a good day.
Those police, if you did something you thought it would help solve a murder, would you tell me?
Yeah, but I don't know nothing.
Area sucks, man. Nobody wants to talk. It's like it's ran by Al-Qaeda.
Bella was laying on the ground for 2 hours before someone finally bothered to call the police. I'm a Christian man, and I believe that there are people out there that know right from wrong. And, you know, I just pray that someone in this neighborhood on this block will do the right thing.
Later, detectives finally get a break in the case.
We got word that there's a potential witness that we just brought in. He's sitting on something. So we'll go see exactly what this young fellow knows. Go back to last Friday night, Saturday morning. Are you aware of what happened?
Yeah, the girl got shot.
Okay, did you know that girl? And this is the girl that I'm talking about, okay?
I got enough going on that I just can't get involved in some other...
Well, crap like this happens every day. And you have the opportunity to do the right thing or keep your mouth shut and let stuff like this go on and happen. So when do we as a society sit there and say, dude, enough's enough?
Just do the right thing, man. Seriously.
I walked to Quick Trip. I could do like 1:30, just to get cigarettes. Came back. That girl was there with Todd, little guy. And Kay, some guy Kay.
What were they doing?
Just talking outside. I'm assuming drugs. I walked by, and I heard a shot. And I was looking like, what the hell? And Kay runs up, came up, he was all jumping around, and I was like, what happened? And he's like, I just smoked that bitch. He's like, that's what happens when you threaten to call the cops. And then just like calm me, just walk away, like he was...
Where did he go after that?
Walk back towards his house.
So this is around 1:30?
Yeah. I didn't see him as after his laying. That body was laying there for a while.
Without a doubt in your mind, Todd was there when this gal got shot.
It's time for Todd to come clean. I want to know what happened on that corner. Anyone home? Nobody? Todd. How you doing, Todd?
All right, how you doing?
Hey, grab your bag.
Can't nobody put me there, because I wasn't there.
You're there and you saw it happen.
Hell no. Can't place me at a place where I'm not there.
But I
If
can't.
seen her,
You said you cared about her.
Bella wasn't my home. If she was my home, I would have been there. I wasn't with the bitch when she got shot. Straight up. I wasn't with the bitch when she got killed. It is what it is, man. I ain't trying to hide, man. I'll tell you anything about me, but until you ask me...
Why the do you think I'm talking to you?
I don't give a
Listen to me, man. You need to get in front of this. When the person who pulled the trigger gets arrested, if you don't get out in front of this, you're just as culpable. an opportunity for you to get out in front of it.
Who were you on the corner with?
I wasn't on the corner with nobody.
What was she arguing with him about?
I'm gonna tell you again, I don't know. I'm done, man. Straight up, I'm done.
We'd like him as a witness, give us an idea of what happened firsthand, but Todd spent 16 years in prison. He cares more about his reputation on the street.
I heard that F-bomb. You're gonna have to do some repenting tonight.
You're gonna need to cut that.
It was powerful.
It was worthless, is what it was. You gotta get on their level. That's why I cuss.
We could probably pick up Todd later and get a charge on him as an accessory, but based off of what the witnesses said, we need to have ps4pro arrested for the murder.
I would hesitate to write an arrest warrant. Yeah, I think you're close.
My question is, what else do I need? To me, that's a confession.
Cooperation. I think we could get somewhere else. There's somebody else out there that we could get this.
At what point, though?
Some point it's...
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to have much. We can find that other piece that's going to send it over the 50 percentile. It's there. It's just a matter of we got to get out there. Maybe it takes another canvas of the whole neighborhood.
So what do you think about taking another run at Lewis? Maybe you start something new? Come on, Nate, let's go. Cheer up a little bit. Holy crap. How you doing? Lewis, how are you, sir? Good.
You know, we talked before, and it was pretty emotional night. Haven't had some time to decompress. Anything else you remember? Anything different about what happened?
And nothing really changed. Nothing that's come into my head that I was left out of my statement.
What about earlier in the night?
I had come home from work.
You didn't go out at all?
Not really.
You say not really? I mean...
honestly, I cannot remember. I don't know if I went down the street to my buddy's house.
Who's your buddy?
Kay. I go down there mainly to drink. Because my lady don't like to watch me drink.
And what else does Kay do?
Kay does a lot of other things. He sells a lot of things.
Have you been hanging out with Kay since then?
I've talked to him twice since then.
You asked him about Bella?
I've asked him, like, you know, what happened, and I've never got a real response. But I know for a fact because I've heard from out of his mouth that was.
When did you hear him say that?
Maybe a week or two before she was found out to me.
I mean, how's that come up in conversation between you and him?
Todd and Jamaica are in there. And Kay was telling me, come back and you got money. Patty and Bella came out of his mouth. But they owe me money. But they still, when they have it, they come spend their money with me.
Wouldn't you think that's pretty important? The circle of people here that we keep talking about, you know all of them. You know who Jamaica is. You know who Todd is. You know who Kay is. You know who Bella is. You know who Patty is. You know all these people.
I'm trying my best to tell you everything I know.
I gotta call bull.
Okay, I don't.
Bull.
What happened to her? How would I know?
See, I try to find the best in people, and then I get lied to, and I get walked on, and then I deal with these guys that have been around, seen it a lot more, and seen people like me get fed a line of BS when it is, and they're sitting on the outside watching and just watching me eat it up.
I do know one thing that I did not tell you at first. This dude walked up to me that night. The officer was standing right here. Dude walked over and he typed into his phone. Don't say nothing about Kay. Don't say Kay's name.
Showed it to you?
And went like this. Don't say Kay's name.
If I find out later you knew something else, I will arrest you. And I'll charge you with accessory after the fact. You understand me, right?
Yes.
There's crystal clear.
Yes.
The warrant's filed.
Now we just have to find him.
He's out on bond, and the CI says he's left town. If he did something, victimize someone else, and I think that'd be on me. My gut tells me he's gonna eventually come back here. According to one of the CIs, he has nowhere else to go. Yeah, that can be it. Grab the gun, boys.
Let's go.
You're under arrest for first-degree murder. Just emotionless, expressionless. He's already said he wanted an attorney last week, so that's still gonna stand true today.
We'll transport him.
All right.
You guys are ready.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your help. A stone's throw from where she shot dead. We catch him. You get excited. This is what you build up for. This is what you look forward to. But it's kind of anticlimactic. I mean, yeah, you catch the bad guy, you lock him up, and in a perfect world, they'll go to jail for the rest of their lives. But it doesn't bring people back. It doesn't make the hurt any less for the families. Hi, Connie. Thanks for seeing us so late. We just wanted to come by so we could tell you in person. We made an arrest in Bella's death, Leslie's death. There's a man who lived across the street from where she was killed, right there on St. Louis. His name's Stephen Syfor.
Why? Why? Why did you do it?
I don't know why. He declined to speak to us. This is just the first step, and now it's going to be a court process, and that can take some time.
But I want to be there. I want to be in the courtroom, and I want to let him know that he took my baby. She was somebody. I just hope that he doesn't ever get out and hurt anyone else.
I'm going to do my best.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
young father gunned down in his car.
All right, y'all, show me where to walk.
A new homicide detective.
Look. Dude.
Is put to the test.
Everything he's saying is just a lie.
To bring the killers to justice.
That's him right there. That's him right there.
And the clock is ticking. For homicide detectives, their chance of solving a murder is cut in half if they don't get a lead within the first 48 hours. Atlanta, Georgia. 2:21 a.m. on a quiet residential street. Shots ring out.
What's your emergency? I just have to catch up. I think I'm going to might be shot. Either with the assailant is a shot. He's where the feet. Is there anything actually, sir? Yes, there's incredible thing. And the dude is a dying.
Fire rescue race to the scene. But it's too late to save him.
I'm excited. From the beginning of my career, I wanted to be in homicide. I would always jump on the people's calls to come to the homicide scenes. I knew the medical examiners, and they would test me. I really wanted to learn.
Detective Tracy Lewis grew up in Atlanta and has a daughter in college. She has spent 15 years on the force, including 3 years in the Special Victims Unit, before joining homicide. This will be her first case as lead.
We are headed to Maiden Lane. They don't have a lot of murders, so I'm very shocked about this. We'll see what we got.
Wasn't that bad? Yeah, post is cleared out. All the creeps are done crawling. That
Morning.
Got shot in the car?
Got a name on ticket?
Keelan Williams.
24-year-old Keelan Jamal Williams worked as a TSA agent and was an aspiring musician. Born and raised in Atlanta, he was the father of 2 young boys.
Looks like he's just been shot once in the chest. You got a lot of blood right here.
I'm looking at the blood that's all over here. I'm looking at his chest.
That's brilliant. I think he was shot outside. And that shot didn't kill him. He sat in and bruised.
Yeah. Could be an attempted robbery.
Detectives find the victim's wallet and cell phone in his car.
Cell phone ringing.
That's a girlfriend or wife calling.
Concerns.
Just taking it all in. All right, guys, show me where to walk.
5 casings and 2 projectiles.
Federal 380 on.
They all look the same. Hey, check this out.
Up the hill, 1 block from the body.
Right out of that bush.
Wow.
That's a small capacity weapon. That could be the gun.
You've got one witness so far. The 911 caller.
The 911 caller said he heard the gunshots and then saw a man standing over the body.
They'll please run up the hill along that same path where the weapons is found.
Okay, so when he pulled up, he saw the shooter run away.
Body units try to go look for him.
Hours in.
This always got a homeless guy. It's claiming to be an eyewitness.
Was he just walking up the street and he saw it?
He said he saw it turn.
Oh, really?
Lewis has the 911 caller and the homeless man transported to homicide for questioning.
I can't say I got what we call a good one. It just depends on what my witnesses are going to say. I've dreamed about being here since I was in the 9th grade. My cousin was murdered a little under 20 years ago. And his case is still unsolved to this day. Without having that closure of finding out what happened to him, that fueled the fire of me wanting to be a homicide detective. Families, they really need someone working hard for them. So you actually call 911 from your phone?
I feel like it hasn't really hit me yet, to be honest.
Can you tell me about the event?
I hear 4 or 5 gunshots. It's really loud. I could feel the hit in my chest.
The 911 caller says he heard the shots fired from a block away.
Okay.
When I come out the street, I see the dead guy. His legs sticking out of the car. But there was a guy leaning in the car. I was like, he was shaking from messing with the dead guy.
Okay.
And he turns around and starts going down that hill.
Did he walk or did he run?
Full sprint. I wish there was more I could have done.
This gentleman here, he said that this guy just turned around and just took off running up the street. So I'm not too sure whether or not this is a suspect.
We need to find out who that person is.
What's your plan of action on this?
I'm getting ready to speak to another eyewitness, the homeless guy. He just happened to be walking through and go from there.
We got a bunch of pieces. We just gotta put the puzzle together.
Can you tell me from the beginning and tell your story?
The homeless man says he was standing across the street from where Keelan parked.
So there's a big tower just standing here. It's got authority written all over it. Sounds like a big tower. Left over from the wall. Do you believe they will fire at anything that comes to the show? Be careful if you're going to go for it.
Now, if you were to see the shooter again, would you be able to recognize him?
Oh my goodness, excuse me. Hey, cutie.
I got a guy that disappeared on me. That's running from the scene. Not sure if this is a witness or a suspect. But either way, he's out there. We gotta find him.
Lewis checks the victim's wallet for a lead.
Check that out.
discovers he has a permit to carry a firearm.
Never seen it on a victim before. And who is Sandra? That might be who's calling. Somebody was calling out over and over and repeatedly. Hello, Sandra? This is Keelan's wife? Yes. This is Keelan's wife. Hello, Sandra? This is Keelan's wife?
Yes. This is Keelan's wife.
Be direct and to the point. This is Investigator Lewis with Atlanta Police Homicide. Where are you located right now?
I'm at my house.
Okay, we're getting ready to come out to see you, okay?
Is Keelan okay?
I'll be with you momentarily.
Okay, thank you.
That's horrible. You just have empathy for people. You have to put yourself in their shoes and understand that this is the worst time in their life. It wasn't good. They have 2 boys together. He works for the TSA. He's also a part-time rapper. Seems to me like he's trying to do the right thing. He just got married a few months ago. And they get a chance to start your life together. Never imagine you have to be a widow in your 20s. You expect to grow old with your husband. I had the wife contact the credit card company. His last transaction was at a gas station. The last transaction was at 1:34. The homicide happened around 2 a.m. You need to stop in there. You'll possibly get video of him and maybe also find out who he was with. Right here. Hi, you work here?
Detective Tracy Lewis checks surveillance video from the time Keelan used his credit card at the gas station.
There's Keelan. Well, it looks like he's alone. Wait, back up. Right there. That's the car. Look at that. He was in a passenger seat. He was not alone in this vehicle. Oh my gosh. The driver doesn't get out. It doesn't really help the case. It was a little disheartening. He was getting ready to go and perform at a club. So now we're going to ride by this club.
With the clock ticking, Lewis hopes tracing the victim's final steps will lead her to his killer.
The car is registered to the decedent. It's not uncommon for other people to drive other people's cars, especially when you're with them.
It depends on the person. I won't let anybody drive my car.
Why?
Because it's my car.
Oh, God.
Really horrible backseat drivers.
Pull up to the club.
Oh, look. Camera.
Dude.
Another camera there and another camera here.
I'm hoping that we'll get something from this. Just anything. Hello?
I'm
in the homicide that happened overnight, do your surveillance video cameras, do they work? Okay, hold on 1 second. So they're not recording now? Okay. Everything so far is coming up to dead ends. I just wish there would have been a link to getting our suspect. We're back to square one again. Mr. Detective Lewis.
Lewis gets a call from the ballistics lab.
Okay.
The gun recovered from the crime scene was registered to the victim and is not a match to the casings.
The gun that was found in the bushes, that was his gun. And he was not shot with his own weapon? No, I was hoping it was going to be a murder weapon. Every single turn that we take is like hitting a dead end. No other leads? I called his wife back because she called. Hey, this investigator Lewis calling you back?
I was calling you because I'm hearing the last one was him.
That's going to be the $1 million question.
I was calling you because I'm hearing the last one was him.
The victim's wife says that Keelan was with a friend on the night of the murder.
And I added him on Instagram, but when I asked him for a number to contact him, he won't give it to me.
All right, thank you.
She doesn't have a last name for your guy?
No. Either he's laying low somewhere because he's scared, or he's involved.
An hour later, a surprise call.
It's investigator Lewis.
It's Keelan's friend, and he agrees to come into homicide the next day.
All right, bye-bye. Hopefully he can answer a lot of questions that I have. Let's just pray.
After 17 hours on the case, Lewis heads home for some rest.
I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Let's see if I can find anything about Dr. Crossy here.
35 hours into the investigation, Keelan's friend arrives at headquarters.
Number one, do you know who this person is? Who is that?
Keelan's friend.
Tell me about your relationship with Keelan.
We was rapping together and like trying to do something different. And he was our rapper, he knew a lot of people. That means I was making back on him.
Okay. What's your affiliation?
I ain't nothing no more. I stepped away from it. I got nieces and nephews. I'm doing this. How can I tell them not to do it?
I'm going to talk to you about the morning of July 3rd. What club are y'all going to?
I don't go to the club, man. We seen everybody parking. In the parking lot. We got no money to park in the parking lot.
Keelan's friend says they circled the area and found street parking.
So he parked the car right here. And then you got out.
He says Keelan stayed behind in the car to make a call.
Do you know anything about a Dr. Crossier? Scientist, real or
It was a while from behind him, though. He walked up to me and said, "Come on, boy, you already know it, dude." So what I did have my friend.
He says the man took his phone and wallet at gunpoint.
He's like, "Now, better take off your pants. If I shoot him face me, you'll wear right hook." I said, "Bro, please, I'll shoot him, bro, please, don't kill him, bro." He's like, "Now, run." Then they pulled up on Keelan. Keelan. Bop, 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 bop. Cops drove off. I ran to Keelan. He been for him out. I calling, help, help, help. As I let that sink, he just started shaking. And I didn't know where they were coming back in that. So I took off and I leaned. And my bosses in his arms. I ran all the way home.
Okay.
He put a car phone in the morning. He like, bro, to go talk to the lieutenant. I said, bro, I'm gonna work. I ain't got to hide. I ain't running.
Alright, I'm gonna ask you a question. Keelan's gun
You build boats for
was
the game?
found up here on this corner. In the bushes. Can you explain that to me?
I knew he had a gun, but I didn't think he had one. I'm not gonna lie to them, my dog.
Okay. It's 2 meals. You only saw 2.
Keelan's friend says there were 2 men, the shooter and the getaway driver.
If you saw these guys again, would you be able to recognize them?
Yeah, every time I go sleep, I keep seeing the butt face in my head.
He's been a good witness.
Something prompted them to shoot and not rob.
What I'm thinking happened. Keelan is trained, you know. He says, hey, man, folks coming up the damn street, you stop short of my damn car. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna go for my too. The suspect probably saw the gun, probably took it.
That makes sense.
If that's the scenario, they don't really want to get caught with that guy's gun in case it is registered.
And then by them going up the street, tossed it right there. There's too many things going on at once.
Lewis sends out for the records on the friend's stolen cell phone, while Detective Summer Benton checks for other robberies in the area and gets a possible lead.
Let me touch your something. There have been several robberies in the area within the last few weeks. One actually happened on the same street as your homicide.
One of the reported robberies resulted in an arrest.
So I pulled a photograph of him and all his known associates. There's tons.
Thank you. I'm gonna give you a stack of photographs.
At this point, we have nothing. We don't know who we're looking for. In order to generate suspects, we're trying to think outside the box. We just do a huge group, 20 plus photographs, to see if he even recognizes or resembles anything.
What I'm looking for is the guys that were involved in this crime. This is the one that held you at gunpoint.
He was staring at the photo for like 3 to 4 minutes. Just staring at it.
Come on, we're done. How you feeling?
Another authority sense.
Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go in here. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get you out of here. He's going through the grieving process, and he's still fearful himself. Despite that, he's doing the right thing.
As the clock winds down,
Right now, we have a person of interest that our fugitive unit is looking for.
Detective Tracy Lewis hopes she's one step closer to solving the murder.
He was already a little nervous, but once he got to those 2 specific photographs that he got to, and he started like this. Simba was like, he's been staring at one picture for about 5 minutes. So when I asked him in the elevator, how confident are you from 1 being the lowest to 100 being the highest, that that's him? He said 100. And even then, he's getting a little...
I will tell you this. It's and this, from my experience, it's not 100 for him. But no matter what he says, it's right. 100, in my experience, as soon as they...
I just didn't want him to be like...
That's it right there. That's it right there.
In the first 48, Detective Tracy Lewis responded to the murder of 24-year-old Keelan Jamal Williams. Learned that witnesses saw a man fleeing the scene moments after the gunfire. Determined the man was the victim's friend and an eyewitness to the murder, and began the hunt for a possible suspect. Over the next few weeks, with no new leads, Lewis's case begins to go cold.
Dealing with a cold case is frustrating. You have to have patience. I'm going out to speak to Keelan's wife and kids. The children are having a difficult time understanding what happened to their father.
My daddy.
He's scared. He's not coming to get you. I promise you he's not coming out here. Get you your text.
Why am I talking good?
Why? I really can't tell you. It wasn't right for them to take your daddy away from you. Sometimes people do bad things.
Sometimes people do bad things.
Mm-hmm. And when people do bad things to each other, sometimes it hurts people. It's kind of what happened to your daddy. They hurt him and he went to heaven.
I don't know why he went to heaven.
Well, because God needed him home.
After Keelan's murder, Lewis finally gets a break.
I think I got some good news for you, Tracy.
Records on his friend's stolen cell phone are in.
The phone was used about half an hour after your victim was shot, and he called one number a lot. Back to back, placing calls to that number calling the phone back, having extended conversations.
Are you kidding me?
That number hopefully will be able to point you in the right direction.
Okay, and what I can find out.
I came looking for a Dr. Glossier here.
Hey, this is Investigator Lewis for Atlanta Police Homicide. I was calling to see if I can maybe come by to speak with you about something I'm investigating. Okay, give me 20 minutes. Just hoping and praying that we get something from this. This is like one of the strongest leads that we may have.
Finally, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go back to July the 3rd. You got a phone call about maybe 4 o'clock in the morning. And you talked for quite a bit of time. Who called you?
I think that was Fernando.
Okay. And when he called you, what was he talking about?
He was like, something had happened. Him and a boy, they got into it or something. I can't remember.
Well, take your time and remember, because this really, 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 really makes a difference. There were actually 2 victims. One is living and one is dead.
Oh, Lord. I don't want to be in no trouble for no murder.
That's the problem. The victim's phone called you, and you called the victim's phone.
He said, I'm scared. I've been up all night. I can't sleep. And I'm like, what's going on? What happened?
Genius scientist with a shifty past.
So
Original archivist, pre-Apophis. They said he worked for the
Who's Monte?
I don't know his real name.
Then
Fernando Hogan's friend gives Lewis contact information for Monte.
And then he told you about...
They shot. He said he think he might have killed somebody.
An impressive setup. Dr. Glossier.
You sure?
Did you say he shot or he was driving or what?
The friend says Hogan didn't say if he was the shooter or the getaway driver.
He can't talk about nothing you was wrong. Whatever you do, you was wrong. You don't do it.
Back at headquarters, Lewis looks up her two new suspects.
Makes sense, I guess.
Fernando. Assault on a female. Robbery. Mr. Hogan. Let's see if I can find the other one. Lamontez Hinton. He was locked up for some traffic charges.
My only problem is a blue Dodge Adventure.
Arrested in Blue Dodge.
I was always hoping to.
It was a massacre.
Lamontez Hinton.
Mutants, a new kind of creature.
Wow.
Tech and armor
It's going on and on.
Huge.
A lot of violent stuff going on in his criminal history.
Detective Tracy Lewis discovers that Lamontez Hinton is in custody on unrelated charges.
Hi, it's Detective Lewis.
She calls to have him transferred to homicide for questioning.
We're only hard at work on the longevity project. But you see, for that problem, I just might have some solutions.
Stations. I've got one for you. Project Black.
Just like you get in jail, right? Detective Lewis has put together a case here in the homicide office, which is a result of a man being killed. Your name has come up in the investigation. With these items in mind, you wish to speak to us now? Oh, that's it. It's fine.
Did you say 6 years?
Yes, thereabouts.
Take back just a minute.
I was hoping you were going to talk. He lawyered up? He just wanted to know what it was about. As soon as we told him it was about homicide, he was like, I want a lawyer. He didn't ask about what murder? No, nothing. When did this happen? Nothing. So we're going to take him back to the jail now and go on to the next step. I'll just go ahead and put a lineup together, go out to my surviving victims. Hopefully he'll pick out both of them.
Lewis needs Keelan's friend to ID her two suspects, and with murder.
Hey, I'm on the way.
You knew I was going to volunteer.
If he makes a positive ID, I'm coming back and type up these warrants for their arrest. If it takes me all night, I'm going to get these warrants. All right, guys, y'all need me? I'm on the way. He picked out both suspects without a shadow of a doubt, almost instantaneously.
Keelan's friend identified Lamontez Hinton as the man who allegedly shot Keelan, and Fernando Hogan as the driver of the gang.